What if the thing standing between you and your next level isn't a better funnel, a new course, or another certification? It's that you're doing it alone. Our next guest built an entire organization around one radical idea that women rise faster, scale bigger, and stay sane longer when they stop trying to do it solo. She didn't wait for millions of followers or a perfect brand strategy. She just started gathering women, and it turned into something that she never expected. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Passion to Payday podcast.
We are your hosts, Becky Sampson and
Heather Laughter.
This is where stories turn into strategy and passion turns into profit.
Every episode, you'll hear how everyday women build real income doing what they love, and how you can too.
Turn your passions into paydays. Welcome to the show. Okay, the intro never gets old.
Never. I continue to bounce in my seat like this.
I saw that. Well, welcome everybody to Passion to Payday podcast. I'm Becky Sampson and
Heather Laughter.
And we are excited about our guest today because she was there the day that this was born.
Yes.
When we decided to do the Passion to Payday podcast, she was in the room, and now it's been a couple months and we've done 17 episodes. I'm excited. This is number 18.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I
And
know.
I'm so excited today to introduce our guest, Sara Elbert. She's such a gem. She's the founder and CEO of Sunshine Community, a women's empowerment organization that exists to do the one thing that most entrepreneurs secretly crave. It is to make them feel like they're not building alone. She's a community architect who turned scattering sunshine from a personal philosophy into a multi-platform movement of lady leaders, visionaries, and women who refuse to wait for permission to rise. She didn't launch with a massive audience or a polished funnel. She launched with heart. She launched with a conviction that women supporting women is not just a hashtag. It's a growth strategy. Sara, welcome to Passion to Payday.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Okay, by the way, I did notice her backstage going, I did that. And I love when we can validate and be able to showcase you to our network of women, because it is so true. We can't do it alone. We just can't do it alone.
Oh, yes. We're very aligned.
Very aligned. And I was just saying, I haven't been part of Sunshine Community for all that long, but the short time that I've been involved, it really has changed and shifted so many things for me in such a positive way. So from the bottom of my heart, thanks for what you do out there. Thank you for your heart. But could you tell us a little bit more about your backstory? How did this come to be?
I was going to say, thank you for saying that, because that's what truly matters to me is the impact.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived in California and I was a teacher for a long time. And then I became the ed tech expert and the science everything new and innovative was in my corner. And I trained teachers and lifted teachers up and trained them on community. How do you build culture in a school? So when I moved to Utah, I suddenly was taken out of that kind of pinnacle of my career, where I was the guru that everyone went to not knowing anyone. And I had an 18-month-old baby at the time.
Oh my goodness.
So I just felt very alone, and I wanted to build community for my kids and for myself and connect with the people that I just have a natural affinity for.
Mm-hmm.
So what started out as just a lunch club, let's get together for lunch, just grew from there and became an organization that I never expected, but I'm thrilled came to be.
So I love that you said that you started with the community, but what made you kind of turn it into going, I think I could actually turn this into a business?
Well, first of all, I love to build the community. And then I have an attraction towards women in business and money in general, because I don't think in education we're taught about that. It was kind of taboo, or it's something you don't talk about. And there's kind of shame around money and hide it so other people don't steal it type of thing in public. That's what you're taught when you're a kid and growing up. And then I went through a divorce. My first husband developed a mental disorder, an emotional disorder. And suddenly I was left with no support, no income, no anything, and had to build it myself. And that's when I went into teaching, because it worked around my kids' schedule. But I have a true heart and passion for families and women, and how kind of our corporate world, kind of what we're trained to go into, does not support family in that way. So I am attracted to women who are doing that, who are innovative, who are, besides making their own businesses, creating businesses, leaders, the movers and shakers that are change agents in that realm.
Yeah, no, and one thing I was going to tell you, you probably don't know this about me, and for some reason it's inside of me. I've never been able to have children, and just fertility and all kinds of things. But I've always had a passion for helping women, mothers, right, that are wanting to contribute financially to their income of their homes, to be able, but still be able to be home with their kids and raising them. And that is, I think that's such an important thing nowadays. We live in a world where anybody can live anywhere and work anywhere. And yes, you can do both. You can.
Because money helps families thrive.
Absolutely.
And most divorces that happen are because of money problems. So if we can take care of this problem for families, then there'd be so much more joy and thriving in the world.
Well, and a lot of women in marriages, and I'm not saying that this is always the case, but there's a huge statistic, 44% of women coming out of divorce end up in a financial poverty. And I'm just like, no, not on my watch. You know what I mean? Like, whether you are in a marriage, and I'm all for marriage, or you're getting divorced or whatever, you're empowering yourself with something that you can take with you, or in that helps you in your own family. So I love that you are all about that community and supporting women in this, because women really can change the world. That's what I really truly believe that.
I believe that too. And I do think too, there's a recent statistic. We're all here in Utah right now. And I was reading that average cost to live in Utah for a family of 4 is $240,000 a year.
Wow.
Isn't that something? And most people I know don't make that with a single income. And most of us could be stretched to do that with 2 incomes. And so what do? We get to really manage our finances effectively. We get to lean into our power as women, because for the longest time, as we all know, women were not encouraged to have careers outside the home. And it's no longer an option for most of us. And so what you have done is to create a community of women who have we're like-minded now, right? Like, we're all headed in the same direction, and we all have different definitions of success, but we're all in pursuit of some sort of success. So it kind of sounds like that might be your ideal client. Could you kind of put in words like exactly who your ideal client might be? We know women.
Yes. So our ideal client is women leaders, founders, visionaries, community builders that want to build alongside of us.
Nice. I love that. That's awesome. And tell me, like, what do you think your superpower is? I think I've told you what I think your superpower is a few times now, but tell me what you think yours is.
To me, it's connecting and helping people feel seen. And then that brings them into being secure in a community.
Well, and I think that something we said at the very beginning too is that, a lot of women feel like they have to be solo in this growing businesses, and knowing when they come to the community, I think, have I been once or twice? I think I've been once, maybe. I think I've been once, because I live a couple hours away. So I came up for that one. But what was really cool is that a lot of us in the room are dealing with the same things, have the same challenges, have the same wins. We get to celebrate wins together in there. And I think we did a luncheon, and then there was a training. There was a beautiful woman that talked about our inner beauty and how important, how valuable we are. And so you not only bring the women together, but you also bring other powerful women to elevate them. Talk a little bit about what your thinking was behind that.
Well, we have speakers at the lunches, and every time it's somebody who is going to, because my biggest thing is to make the biggest impact I can in the shortest amount of time I can. So if I have a lunch, we're all introducing each other, people are crying because of the impact that Sunshine Community is bringing to them. And then someone who has built a community themselves that can impact women in our lunch to show them possibilities, show them how to get there to where they want to be. I think that's huge. So I just love bringing people and inspiring people every time they're in the room.
And I've been dying to ask you this question. Where did Sunshine Community come from?
So as a teacher, there is a Sunshine Committee, and that is for people to support, to give flowers, to bring a human element to being in a working environment. And it just makes you feel seen and makes you feel loved. So Sunshine Community is bringing that into the work, women, and leadership arena.
Now I know I love it even more. I already did. So tell me a little bit too. What would you say is going really well right now? And I know you're kind of in a place of transition, but what's going well right now?
How many beautiful women we have a part of it. And actually, I am moving back to California. I have a lot of family there. But now the Sunshine Community has become not just a community, but a family, a chosen extended family for a lot of the women. And I have a new CEO, Gina Nunez, that's taking over, and I get to be the founder that is part of the advisory board and keeping things going from a distance. But she's going to be the person on the ground, available, ready for people, or available for people at the luncheons and at the conferences and everything else that we do, because we have a lot of member-led events too.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that you've shared with us that you want to do is also take this nationwide, right? And have Sunshine Communities all throughout the United States to be able to bring women together. What do you think makes your community unique?
So Sunshine Community has a focus of people empowering each other, leadership, and when you're in the room, there's a different feel than just a networking group or a chamber. You can kind of get lost in the shuffle, whereas there is a big focus on not just being seen, but seeing others so that everybody's working together. There's a lot more instant support in this kind of environment and empowerment that can be lacking in the bigger environment. So when it comes to replicating this other places, I just want to make sure that I keep that intimate feel, the passion, the caring about each other, and the empowering each other as we grow.
And what if somebody's listening right now going, oh, I would like to be a part of this, right? Like, I would love to be able to start a chapter or maybe a community. What would you say would be the ideal person that you'd be looking for to lead one of these?
So women who have an event center, who have a wellness center, who want to bring people in and build a community around their business are ideal for that. But yes, we're working on how do we get this exactly replicable and trained and make sure that we're growing in the right way.
Well, and I will say it gets tossed around a lot, the word collaboration instead of competition. But I think Sunshine Community really embraces that. And when I explain Sunshine Community to other people, I've been parts of networking groups. I met Becky at a networking group 16 years ago. Like, we've been doing this for a very long time. And even though, I'm in a similar business to some of the other women at Sunshine Community, I have never walked in and felt like, oh, she's not going to want to talk to me. She's going to, it's a totally different collaboration rather than what's the other word?
Competition.
Collaboration, it's a real thing with Sunshine.
So that's something I had to learn with business. Going from the educational environment where your customers are ready-made, right, to having to build your own business, I had many situations where people were fighting together, couldn't be in the same room with each other. People trying to, once you build something, take that and use it themselves. Like some of these strategies, I was like, I'm not very good at seeing the kind of nefarious intent behind some of these things. But I learned as we went, and then I learned how to pick people that had a similar mission, had a similar, wanted to impact the same way we do, want to collaborate, want to work together, want to uplift. So I feel like we've done a really good job of gathering people who have that vision in the room now.
I totally agree. And tell me, what would make 2026 your best year yet?
Well, with the new CEO and our advisory board, I'm loving how that's all coming together. A lot of this I did build myself, even though I built it and gathered the people. I like the idea of building together. And so the advisory board is really exciting for me, and just growing this and then starting the new communities as it grows in Utah. And then I want it to grow organically. So it'll take a little bit to go beyond that. But I would love it to be nationwide and for women to have this empowerment. Are you going to start a chapter in California then, do you think? Yes, but it does take a little bit of time. So getting to know the community there, the feel behind the communities, yes.
I hear you.
Short answer is yes. But it does take the collaboration, the finding out who's going to be the best partners, who's going to build together. It takes a little bit of research. So it'll take a year at least to do research before we go that direction.
And I was going to say too, I think for some people that they think, oh, I have to have a huge following. I mean, that's really a big part of it. Going, I've got to have all these people following me. I've got to have a social presence. But you started with very little.
We had 5 people at our first luncheon.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is that what kind of encouragement can you give somebody that possibly is looking at it and going, oh, I don't have all these people in the world. Like what's the first steps that you'd ask them to, or you'd encourage them to do to start their own little community of support?
First of all, get in the right rooms, know and research the people that you really want to be around, not just your ideal client, but the people who come across those ideal clients constantly, and then build your leadership circle, your power circle, or whatever that is. So that you're growing together, and you don't just have that one connection that way. You have connections of everybody in the room.
Right. And I think something that you just mentioned that was so vitally important is make sure that you're getting givers on that, not takers.
Right. Because you're giving and you need it back. Reciprocal. You have to grow together and build together.
Exactly. Right. And that sometimes takes a little bit of a trained eye.
Yes.
I think
because we all want to go in and save the person in distress.
Right.
Absolutely. But if that's someone who's been in distress for 5-10 years and they're not growing beyond that and they're not able to reciprocate, then they can be a wrecking ball when it comes to trying to build.
Yeah, because it's difficult to build when someone else keeps trying to knock stuff down, right? Like, and be negative. And you have exuded the idea that you build with positivity and you build with amplifying your strengths and everybody else's strengths, and not pointing out weaknesses and not pointing out detriments and not pointing out how one might be better than the other one.
And you get people who compliment you.
Yes, exactly. Okay, you ready for our secret question?
Oh, sure.
She's like, what passion and payday mean to you?
Oh, thank you. I'm glad it's that. You scared me a little bit with I'm going to surprise you with the question. So I strongly believe that you're going to put more effort and you're going to enjoy your life a lot more if it's something you're passionate about, and you're going to want to make a bigger impact with that passion. Now, when it comes to the payday part, make sure that you are making those strategic business plans. Make sure that you are, because that's another thing I learned, is that you do have to have a business plan. You do have to do some market research. You do have to see who your competitors are and how they're doing things, and then try to work together in a way that's unique to stand out. but then you're doing something you love and you're making a living at it and you're supporting family. And for me, community, that is huge and just so rewarding.
Absolutely. I love that. And we're big believers, obviously, as you know, we're big believers in business plans and having the business plan, but then being able to execute it is a whole nother game altogether sometimes. And part of that execution is finding a community. So thanks for doing what you do with that, because that's been a shifter for me. And I appreciate you very much.
And I appreciate you. The impact I can make with people is what's most important to me. So thank you.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Sara, for coming on. I make sure you go to her website right there. That's at sunshinecommunity.org with a dash in there. And also just want to make sure that, you know, we do, Heather and I do have an event coming, and Sarah's been to our event, one of them that was in May. It was fun. A 3-day event. It's happening in August 29th through the 31st, I believe it is. And it's 3 days of working on your business. We're creating community as well, because it is so important that when we are not alone, and when we share our struggles and our triumphs and our wins and all of that kind of stuff, it just allows you to get one bit further down that road for success. So thank you so much, Sara, for what you do. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come, and good luck on your move.
Thank you. And I highly recommend what these ladies are doing. It's really incredible.
You're awesome. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.